Mr. William Rodriguez. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you today?
I'm doing very fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. So I hear that you are running for LA Mayor in 2022. Can you tell me what inspired you to run for this office?
Wow, that's a great question. And the thing is, what inspired me is the heritage of my great-great-grandparents. And being here fourth generation, that's what's really inspired me the most, because this is a legacy that I need to build for the family. And basically right now, everybody's hurting the city, and that is my family. That's why I'm running, because the city is hurting, businesses are hurting. It's time for accountability.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Accountability, that's interesting. Bring up accountability. So you think there's no accountability here with the current people in office? Or how are you going to, or let me ask another question. How would you make people, I guess, accountable?
Okay, it's a great question. Well, when I mention accountability, lack of services, the lack of the needs of repairing the streets, the lack of jobs. For example, you get a pothole. Why don't we resurface the whole street? We have 320 employees to pave the highway. We should have them all working so we can have our streets done. We have the Olympics coming. We have the Super Bowl coming to the LA County area. So with lack of services, people falling over a sidewalk crack. Let's get our city back and restore it to the beauty it was at the beginning. That's what this is all about.
So you want to make people in office accountable to spending the money and the funds as they say they are.
That's absolutely correct. And getting it done in a timely manner.
Okay.
For example, let me point out one thing. SoFi Stadium. You have Manchester and you have Century Boulevard. You only have 7 employees there. 7 public work employees. And they were able to do 5.2 miles in a week and a half. The city of LA, we have 320. We can't even get a block done in a week.
Right, so you're saying that we need to definitely make people accountable to do the work for the funds that are allocated.
That's
towards
correct.
The project.
Absolutely correct. And the councilmen in those districts need to make sure that it is getting done. They need to be out there in their districts. And I'm going to make sure of that they are monitoring to make sure things are done correctly. That's what they're elected in for. They're for the community and they're for the people.
Nice, great. So I do understand that you have 3 issues, and the issues are healthcare, homelessness, and public safety. Can you talk about those a little bit for me?
Yes, healthcare is a big issue right now because my mom is suffering with dementia, and there's other individuals and other members of the community that are suffering the same way. And the way the policy is from our nation, because if you make a certain amount of money on your pension check, you don't have in-house services. You have to pay out of pocket. These are their golden years that they worked so hard for. So what I will do is I will correct that problem here in the city of Los Angeles. I can't correct it throughout the whole nation, but here in the city of Los Angeles, we will address that and change it.
Great. Homelessness. What's your perspective on that issue?
Homelessness is a big problem. Right now, there's so much money allocated towards that with the HHH money. So I'm going to have a 3-step plan. We have to actually evaluate them. And then on that step of evaluation, the plan is separating the ones that are homeless because of drug and alcohol abuse. Mental health is going to be separated and put in a different location. The ones that are capable of working, but it's because of the poverty why they're homeless. We're going to take care of that problem too.
So you would say that the three basic points to this are evaluating.
You're stuttering over there, so let me break it down to you.
Illness.
Yes,
No,
let me
no,
break
no.
it down
The
for
mental,
you.
I'm just trying to guide you so you don't get distracted. To a better interview, so that you could be more fluid.
Yes. Okay. So let me give you the whole plan now, real quick.
You don't have to give me the whole plan, but you want to evaluate the
Correct.
people and break them down into categories of mentally ill, alcohol abuse, and then would you say transitional?
Transitional.
Well, because they're, when I say transitional, I'm talking about people who probably worked at one time but weren't able to find a job.
Correct.
And now they're,
Right. Absolutely correct.
dealt a different hand.
And now the whole plan on that, it's not just a city issue, it's a county, it's a state, it's a nation issue.
So,
And if we look around all of California, we have federal property that's empty, we have county property, we have state property, we have buildings that are empty. In that land, there's already fabricated homes that we can put on there instead of putting them inside an old container that was a container at one time. Let's get these houses that are already fabricated and put them on a piece of property to where that they can learn their training, vocational skills to get back in the workforce. The ones that have mental health, let's get them the help they need so they can get back in the workforce. We have nonprofits that are saying they're doing it. But now we have them in a location so those nonprofits can be there taking care of them. They don't have to go look for them in the street because we have them there.
absolutely. Okay, and how about the transitional? You discussed that. We talked about that. You touched upon it. Is that where you are? with
Yes, on that, my plan is, since they want to build this rail system, that's going to be their vocational training to learn how to build this rail system. And let's just get these, they call them, I guess, our little subway system. Let's not do this in like 10 phases. Let's get everybody to work on this so they can maintain it once it's built. And everybody can move around all the counties and throughout the city of Los Angeles. Because, of course, we're going to still have to have people maintaining them, checking on them. And once we get it completed, we're going to have all those jobs that they're going to have to still maintain them.
Well, I believe, too, part of the problem that you have with transitional housing is that people really are working. They're still working, but they want places that they could afford.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan on, what's your plan, or do you plan on actually, or how do you plan on solving that? Or what kind of plan are you going to put in place for the transitional people who are working, can afford but fair market
value?
Yeah.
Very great question, because on that, it should be based on how much you make, and 1/4 of that really goes to your rent. That's the way it was evaluated when I was going to college before, years ago, when I was actually trying to become a CPA. So 1/4 should go towards your rent. The rest goes, 1/4 goes to your expenses, and 50% is for your savings and your expenses of traveling or whatever you want to do. But now, it's not like that no more, because the prices have went so high on rent that nobody can afford to live. Even rent one of these high rises that's in downtown LA.
Okay, nice. We've talked about your inspiration, we've talked about your issues. Now let's talk about some of these strategies which you kind of touched upon. What do you wish to accomplish once you get in office as the mayor of Los Angeles?
What do I wish to accomplish?
Every person that gets in office has something that they champion or accomplish. What is it that you want to do?
What I want to accomplish, since with the structure I've already told you in my campaign, I want to accomplish is bringing back the city of Los Angeles back to its golden years with everybody working. This whole city thriving like it did before in the 40s and 50s and 60s. It's time that there's that accountability in getting everybody back to work. Let's not label anybody. We're all brothers and sisters. That's what I'm bringing to the table. Getting everybody back to work and having a better future for their children and to pass on to the future generation. With the vocational training is also going to be for the Port of LA, because that's going to expand within the next 10 years. We're going to need crane operators. A computer's not going to be able to run that machine. You need physical manpower there. With all the commerce coming in, you need physical people there. So they will be trained in those fields and other fields too as well.
Okay, so anything else you wish to accomplish?
Yes, and then we have a big water issue because of the Deutsche Schmelt, the fish that are up north. We rely on Nevada for our water here in California. It's time that we actually, the fish can live anywhere. The fish will adapt. The people cannot adapt. The Central Valley needs water. Gentleman that's running for governor, we're going to work together on getting that problem solved.
Okay, so that's, in addition to your issues, this is another thing you would like to accomplish.
Yes,
Well,
and build a legacy. A legacy for all of California and for the city of Los Angeles.
So you,
Make it back the golden state it used to be.
with when how we used to do it when the immigrants came to America and wanted to pursue the American dream,
Yes.
be productive and earn money and create a legacy for their own.
Right. Just like when they had the gold rush.
Well, I thank you so much, and this has been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you today, and we hope to see you soon.
And I thank you very much, Miss Tiffany. You have a wonderful and blessed afternoon, a blessed day.
You too.